Right, so we're asked to use the given information and the fact that VB and TC intersect at point A. How could we prove that triangle VAT is congruent to triangle CAB? Now again, the things we know so far are two congruent watch slits are either side, 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 or side, angle, side. Okay, so let's mark the given information and then see if there's anything else we know from our properties of geometry that could help us show that these two triangles are congruent by either of these two. So let's mark our given information. This says CA is congruent to VA. So the line from C to A, put a mark on it, is congruent to the line from V to A. Put a mark. That tells me those two are congruent. Next, TA, so the line from T to A. I'm going to put 2 marks here because I don't necessarily know they're congruent to that other pair. Is congruent to BA, the line from B to A. So I put 2 marks there. That tells me 2 marks, 2 marks. Tells me those two are the same. Okay, is there any way, a property of geometry that would tell me that VT and CB are congruent so I could use side, side, side and have 3 sides of each triangle? No. Okay, so the only option left is for there to be some property of geometry that would tell me that here I have side and side. If the angle between this pair of sides is congruent, then the triangles would be congruent by SAS. Is there any property that tells me that this pair of angles, this angle here and this angle here, are congruent? There is. It's one we use all of the time in geometry, so if you're not familiar with it, now would be a good time to make sure you're familiar with it. It comes into play when we have 2 lines intersecting. Remember, the angles across the intersection from one another are called vertical angles, and the property says vertical angles are congruent. So we do know that this angle and this angle are congruent by vertical angles. So the question was, how can we prove VAT and CAB are congruent? Well, we know that angle VAT is congruent to angle CAB because they are vertical angles. And once we know that, then we can say that the two triangles are congruent because of side, angle, side. So first we had to realize that these two angles were congruent because of vertical angles, and then we could say yes, the two triangles are congruent by side, angle, side.